So next thing that happened at Summer Games Fest was we did see that we'll be talking about is Virtua Fighter Crossroads. Crossroads now includes an open world aspect that sort of resembles Yakuza and Shenmue. So, Shells, I know you're a big fan. What are your thoughts on that in terms of Virtual Fighter Crossroads?
Uh, Bro, this has never been done in a Virtua Fighter game. I've never seen anything like what they're doing. I've been playing Virtua Fighter since Sega Saturn days. Uh, and what they're doing right now is amazing. Amazing. Just amazing. The fact that now it's not just a fighting game, it actually has a story to it. And it seems like to be a more well developed story too, not just like the basic, oh, you choose a character, play through the arcade, and then you just learn about that character, and then that's it. This is like a story that is like taking place in what looks to be like a certain city, like Brazil or something like that of the sort. And you play as like a character, and there's like actually like friends, family, and like different scenarios, and it looks really good, bro. It kind of reminds me, it's like you said, like similar to Yakuza or Shamu. And it's crazy because I know that Shamu and Yakuza are made by Sega,
Right.
so it makes sense for them to, they have experience in making these games, and it made sense for them to bring those games with the open world environment and combine them in this new Virtual Fighter game. And they're even having some top writers on that's writing the story. I know one of the writers, he wrote the X-Men from one of the X-Men movies. And I think they're getting another guy as well. I can't remember their name, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
they're having another big writer on that. And I feel like it's a good step in a different direction. They're doing something different. They're doing something different. They're also showing you. They're also saying to you like, hey, yes, this is a fighting game, but this is more than a fighting game. This is an open world fighting game that has a story to it. It's almost like this is. It's almost as if like, bro, it's like a Bruce Lee movie in a sense. You know what I mean?
I'm taking a look at some of the footage here, man, and one of the interesting things that I noticed about Virtual Fighter is the fact that they sort of added that Mortal Kombat, not as in depth, of course, but like when you do a fatality in Mortal Kombat and it shows like the bones cracking and like the ribs cracking and the
Yeah.
jaw cracking, I see a little bit of like traces of a little bit of that as I look at the footage, and they also added a versus mode, which is kind of interesting. In addition to having sort of that open world's kind of like story and everything that kind of resembles Yakuza and
Exactly.
so so like
Exactly.
there a lot of opportunity to take the game into different areas and kind of keep players playing essentially, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
yeah, definitely looks cool.
it's it because because exactly like what you said, it's like similar to that X-ray effect that they do in Mortal Kombat, where you see
Right.
when they hit you with a punch, with that hard punch, it's like boom, the bones crack, you might get a tooth flying out, you know. So and you could see like the sweat too, like coming off of the actual person when you hit them. The like, I want to. I don't want to say that, but like you see like the freckles, you see the detail that they put into like actually them actually going showing you what it looks like when someone's getting like a knockout or something like that.
Yeah, the
So
graphics look crazy. Yeah, yeah.
it's pretty in depth, man, and I think they're doing something new, and as well as, yes, they added an open world, and yes, it has a story, but it's like, hey, do you? It's also a fighting game as well, so you can, if you want to pick it up and go against, go at it with a few of your friends or somebody online, you could do that as well, to keep it to its core. So to bring the people who say, you know what? I'm not really too sure about fighting games. But then you say, hey, but this has a story too. Have you ever played Yakuza? Have you ever played Shenmue? If you ever played any of those games, I think you should pick up this game as well. So they're doing something new and it looks really cool. So I'm for it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, gaming is, one thing that I will say that I noticed at Summer Games Fest is that there were not a lot of free to play announcements. And I think this was one of the critiques that Summer Games Fest had last year in comparison to this year that, I think players seem to benefit from was that the fact that there were not a lot of, free to play games and,
Thank
that
God,
kind of,
bro. Thank
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
I 100% agree.
yeah. So okay. So